evening. Here you are. You look so wonderful today. Welcome to the Tessa-Marie Show. Tonight, on the Tessa-Marie Show, we are going to discuss the pillar of mental prosperity. As you know, we are doing the 5 pillars of prosperity, 1 pillar a night, and tonight is Wednesday night. It's the pillar of mental prosperity. The pillar of mental prosperity is that wonderful time in your life when there you are saying to yourself, what it is I need to keep track of, my mind. Your mind is what is important. Your mental health is just as important as your emotional, your spiritual, your physical, and your financial health. So on Wednesday nights, we visit the pillar of mental prosperity. Mental prosperity is not the same as emotional prosperity. On Monday night, we did emotional prosperity. Mental prosperity is the ability to process the information that you have heard and to recall it. So your mental prosperity is being saying to yourself, I studied this, I know it, I can recall it, I can apply it to better my life and the life of my community. So that's where your mental health is the strongest. Your mental health must be in tune. If you lack mental health and it's weak and you're not recalling the information, it could affect your job, it could affect your relationship with others. It is not emotional though. It's strictly the ability to process the information that you've heard, to recall it when you need it, to apply it when it's necessary. And that is why your mental health is so important. Sometimes we let our mental health affect us in a different way. We say we are just not putting it into it. We're not concentrating into it. We're looking at it, we're not focused. And that is when our mental health starts to suffer. We let other things distract us from taking care of our mental health. We look at our mental position and we say to ourselves, okay, my mental health is fine. Nothing is wrong with me. But yet, you're sitting there and you're trying to recollect something you studied, something you should know. And you're thinking, I am not getting it. I cannot recall it. So the 5 pillars of prosperity represents each of those different prosperity pillars, right? So we have emotional, we have physical, we have mental, we have spiritual, and financial. So if your mental health is suffering, the other 4 pillars has to pick up the pace, but they can't. So what they do, they break down. And that is why we strive to make sure these 5 pillars of prosperity are always working in hand. You cannot function without those 5 fingers on your hand doing the dance to keep you doing what you're supposed to do. If one finger is hurting, you lose this contact with the other one. You're not able to do something or hold something. If that finger of yours is broken, you notice that the other fingers cannot do all of the work itself. So this is the same thing with your mental health. If we let our mental health suffer and we don't recognize that we're losing our mental capabilities to do the things we want to do, we are going to certainly have a hard time with our mental health. So for that reason, we may have to make sure that our mental health is working just as strong as the others. We sometimes neglect our mental health. We do. We sometimes don't put any kind of pressure on it. We sometimes don't put any value on our mental health. We just figure it's okay. Mentally we're fine. And then sometimes later we find out, no, we are not so fine. But it's usually when we actually break down, when we crash, that's when we realize, oh my God, mentally I am not doing what I'm supposed to do. Mentally I am drained. Mentally I am lost. Mentally things are not going my way. This is what happens when your mental health is not going properly. All of a sudden, the things you could always do, your mind is just not being focused on it. You go to work, you're sitting there, and you're not getting your work done. You're just not getting it done because you cannot have the mental capacity to recall what they say. You do not have the mental capacity to say, you know what, I need to do this. I have to continue with this. And that is what is affecting your mental health. You look at it and you're thinking, but I knew that last year. I studied it. You go to sit an exam and you cannot recall what you studied. The questions look like Greek to you. And all of a sudden you say, oh my goodness, my mental health is suffering. Yes, it is suffering. And what can you do? You need to focus. You need to go back and you need to take off the load that is weighing on your mental health. Your mental ability is sinking. And what can you do? Therefore, you have to know if something is going down and down and down, there is weight on it. What is the weight? Where is the weight coming from? Are you disturbed? Is there somebody telling you you're not good enough? You're not smart? You're not strong? You don't have a good memory? And is that what's going on with you? Is there somebody that is telling you, you know what? You don't have the ability to do those things. You cannot recall from yesterday what you had to do, what you did yesterday. You can't recall it to apply it today. And that is where sometimes we get distracted. Somebody will tell you as a child, you're stupid, you're not smart, you know nothing. And you are sitting in the classroom as a child and you're thinking, no, I am not smart. I don't know anything. I cannot figure it out. Everybody else gets it but me. And that is because you have been conditioned to believe you're not worthy. You cannot learn. Some people have actually said to others, you cannot learn. You don't have the ability to learn. You do not have the ability to do those things. You do not have the ability to have a conversation and keep it going in a healthy way. And those type of mental weaknesses are embedded in you from parents and teachers. Teachers actually play a very, very big part in doing this to you. Your teacher is the person might say to you, you know what, you're not smart. You're not getting it. You don't seem to have it in you. You're a dance. Go stand in the corner. Put a cap on your head that says D for dance. Once that is done to you, it never leaves you, especially at such an impressionable age. At that age when they said, you're not good enough, you're stupid, all the other children are so smart, what is wrong with you? And you, as a child, you're hearing all these negative things, and sometimes adults in your life, your parents, your family, your people in your family will say to you, go sit. You have nothing to say. What you're saying is not right. What you're saying has no meaning. Behave yourself. Be calm. Go sit and be quiet. Don't talk. And what do you think that does to your future? So when you're finding yourself in and your mental health is suffering, wake it up. Ask yourself some question and say, what is going on with me right now? What is going on? My mental health is really, I know something is not right. But you need to seek some sort of help. Or you need to talk to someone who is there, who can see you, who can hear you, and who will listen to you and say, no, you're not anything like this. Because the more you remember those things that kept you down, that pushed you down to the ground, that made you felt less than what you truly were. You know inside of you you're smart. You know the answer. But because they told you you're not worthy, you couldn't put your hand up in class. When everybody else's hand was up, yours was down. You kept your head down. Your shoulders slumped because you were told you were stupid. Stupid people do not do that, they tell you. Stupid people cannot learn. Stupid people don't travel. Stupid people don't climb mountains. Stupid people don't learn another language. All of that mental garbage is poured into your head as a child. Or they'll say, oh, don't worry with him, he's a fool. Really? And that's what people do, and that's what people say to others. And that affects your mental health. So by the time you are grown, you have gone to school, you maybe barely made it, or you started the program and you dropped out and said, no, 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 I can't make it. I am not getting it. Instead of saying why, you just accept it because that is all you've known. But your mental health needs to be on point. So then you look for help. There is help to bring your mental capability back to track. Read a book. Keep reading. Find the books to read. Learn some new things. Learn one new word a day. Open the dictionary, and wherever word your finger falls on, learn the meaning of that word and pronounce it. These are the things you have to do to bring your mental capability up to enable you to live a fulfilled life. If you cannot recall the information, if you don't understand what is being told to you, how can you live a fulfilled life? So do not wait for somebody to come from somewhere and to set you right. For somebody to come from somewhere and say to you, you know what, this is what you're going to do. There is no one coming that will hold your hand and take you across that bridge where you have a mental block. The only person that can do this for you is you. If you want to live a balanced, fulfilled life, you have to check in on yourself and look to see what it is. You're sitting, somebody's talking to you, and you don't understand. When you're seeking to have a good mental balance, you don't talk while they're talking. You don't just sit there and think of the answer or what you're going to counteract them with and come back with a punch. That shows stupidity indeed. But at that time, what you need to do is to sit and listen. Listen with the sense of listening and watch them so that you can understand what they're saying. And if that person is speaking to you in terminologies that are alien to you, that you do not understand, then it's your responsibility to say to them, I don't get it. Can you explain it to me in plain language? Can you explain it to me so I can get it? I am not trained in this field. I know nothing about this. My training is in this, not what you're talking about. I had to do that. I remember I had to call the alarm company. And on all means, he wanted me to go into this thing and take off a battery that was way up above my head. And he's telling me, just take it out and do this. And I said to him, no, I'm not doing this. And he said to me, your alarm won't work. I said, no, my alarm will work, but I will not pay. So then he said to me, they will take you to court. I said, is that so? So I said, listen to me. I am trained to take $1 and make $100. That's what I'm good at. You are trained to be a technician. You need to send somebody here to take whatever that is not working and make it go, because I don't understand any of what you're saying. This is not what my training is. But that's your training. So for you, it is simple. Just as for me to take $1 from you and give it back to you in a year plus $100. For me, that is like drinking water. For you, technology is like drinking water. So let us get somewhere in the middle. And then he said to me, okay, Mom, I understand what you're saying. And he sent somebody to fix what was wrong. It was more than just a battery. There I am, alone, in a house, going to stand on something, to stretch my hand above my head, to take something out that is the size of a quarter, to flip it over, to get another one from Timbuktu, and put it up there and close it. I said, no. So I had to explain to him what I'm good at and what he's trained at. So mental health is that gives you the chance to realize what you're good at and what you're not. And when you find out you're not good at it, if you want to be, then you study it. You go find ways to learn it. You go find ways to do it. And that is mental capability. You say, no, I do not understand what you're asking me to do. Can you speak to me so I understand? So you have to get the information that you need to tomorrow by getting the information today. And you need to recall it. And you need to process it in order to use it to fulfill your life. So this is just why the pillar of mental prosperity is there. It's not the same as emotional. Emotional prosperity is how you react to the information you have just heard or you have just been given. Emotional prosperity is not behaving like a toddler on the floor in the supermarket. Right? Mental is taking that box, looking at the ingredients, deciding whether you can use it or not. Mental is looking at the information. Can I use it in my community to better my community? I know how to do this. I can use it to help you figure it out. Mental. So make sure you have that mental capability on point. If you find it waning or you find it falling or it's getting depressing, check it out. Find out why you are so stressful that you cannot remember what you just studied. You have taken an exam and you know you studied for it. And you know that it's something, yet you cannot recall the answer. You cannot recall how to put it together. You find you have to fix that. The only way to fix that is to go to someone and say, listen, I am having problem recalling. I'm having problem using the information I know I should know. What is going on? If you let it go down the hill, it will go too far away from you and you will not be able to pull it back. You'll not be able to come and bring it back because you've let it gone too far. So when you're feeling that your mental health is slipping from you, stop. Stop. Find small things that will help you. Relax in the moment. Look for some joy. Make some connection with others. Don't labor on that one thing. Take some time and say, listen, I need to pull back. I need connection. I need to know where I am going with this. Seek joy. Think about it. Why am I like that? As I said to you, many times our mental health is weak. Our mental prosperity is suffering, not because what we did as adults is what we were told as children. We were told we were failures. That's what I started off with. Somebody said you're not worthy. Somebody said you're stupid. The teacher said, no, you cannot be a scientist, but you can be a janitor, without giving you a chance in grade 8. Mentally, they have taken that one thing away from you already. So when your mental health is suffering, it's usually not from today. It's usually rooted in the past. And sometimes we need to go get professional help to let us understand we are good just the way we are. We were meant to be wonderful and creative, and our mental health is supposed to be on point. So mentally, when you're finding, okay, I'm losing it over here. I'm not connecting with it over there. I cannot recall it over there. That's why I say to stop. Stop and relax in the moment and say, why? Why am I feeling so unworthy? Is it because somebody gave you that look and shook their head at work because you made a mistake? Is that because that mistake was pressed on you like you were told that was a horrible mistake? Yes, a mistake is just a miss. You took it and you miss it. You can correct it next time. But if you're letting the opinions of others from childhood and even into relationship affect you, you will affect your mental health. And in order to live a fulfilled life, you need your mental health to be on point. You need it to be on point, to the point where you realize, I am great just the way I am. I am okay. I'm doing more than okay. I'm doing better than okay. Mentally, I can do this. I have the mental fortitude, the mental strength to continue on this journey and get there. Because if you let somebody browbeat your mental ability, other pillars will suffer. Your spiritual pillar will take a hit. Your emotional pillar will, they're so close. They're not the same, but they're so close that your reaction might be violent at that person. Because they're triggering something from your past by telling you you're stupid. You made this horrible, awful mistake. That's what I expected from you. Who do you think you are? What are you doing? And those kind of hurts last a lifetime unless you take control and you decide, I am going to fix this. I am going to control this. I am going to do better than they think I am able to do. And that takes strength and fortitude and focus and determination. If mental is not working, the other four pillars will suffer. If you're in a job and you're told you're constantly making mistakes, you're not doing it well, and you're getting that headache that comes with the stress of saying, why am I failing? Eventually, they might let you go. Once they let you go, emotionally, you have to go home or to yourself, stand in the mirror and say, how do I pay this rent? How do I buy food? How do I pay this bill? How do I pay this mortgage? What about the car payment? I've lost my job. Because you didn't believe in you. And when you take that step, you must have faith and believe, yes, I can, I will succeed. And when you don't know what to do, you stop. And when you stop and you rest in place and you look for what is joyful in my life, just to clear your mind, make some connection and ask for help. I am having difficulty with this. Rather than lament over it, seek help from somebody. Seek help from somebody. Say, help me. I need your help to do this. I am really having a hard time at work. I am really having a hard time doing this. I cannot recollect it. I should know it. And maybe it's a physical situation that's causing it. So if you find it, have a headache, something else is coming on, then you need to seek a medical doctor. But go. You cannot sit in it and let it hurt you to destroy your life and your other pillars, and you're not reaching for that fulfilled life you desire so much. So when it begins, whatever it is that begins, and it's saying you cannot do it, you're not doing a good job at it, and say, yes, I need the information to fix this. And when you remember the people or the persons that had given you those negative things, push through those negative things and say, I am doing better. I am great at it. I am going to succeed at it. Do not hate them. Sometimes it's a parent. And you must realize people hurt you when they themselves have been hurt. They hurt you because they are hurting. And they cannot get over their hurt. And you have to be strong. Somehow you have to dig deep in and say, no, I am better than that. I know I am not stupid. I know that my dad, my mom, my family is calling me stupid and telling me I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy, I'll not amount to anything. And the teacher is telling John on the side, you'll be a great engineer one day, John, and you'll be a Dr. Mary Lou. And the teacher, when she comes to me, she looks at you and shakes her head, remember that. And you go, I don't know what to tell you to become. Does that help you? You take that yoke and you carry it into adulthood. You take that yoke and you carry it into your rest of your life. But when you see these things continually hitting you like this, you need to say enough is enough is enough. I am out of this. I have to step out of this bondage. I need to fix my mental health. That's what we have to do. We have to say it's enough. I've listened to that nonsense enough. And then some people say I proved them wrong. Because you know what I did? I went and I proved to them, yes, I can be that engineer. Yes, I can make as much money as you. Yes, I can live a fulfilled life. Yes, I can have dreams and desires that I can fulfill. So you have to believe in you. You have to have the faith that you can. You have to step. It's like these things that are pulling you down, they're already down. That's why they want you down there. They are already on the ground. So the only thing you can do is say, I will just crush you. But you're not crushing me. They're on the floor already. They're already on the ground. That's why they want you next to them. That's why they want you to feel the hurt that they're feeling or they felt. And they do not know any better. So do not let other people take your mental health away from you and replace it with mental lack, mental weakness, and believing that you're not worthy, you're not good enough, and all of those things, because you are. You're better than the best, and you have it in you to do the right thing. So when someone says to you, you know, your mental capability is weak, you have to just take it and listen. And in your head say, no, it's not. Right now, it's not. But don't let those memories of childhood from the people that have tormented you make you believe that it's okay to carry it into your future and to let it affect your life now. So this is one of the things you have to do with your mental health, is make sure you take care of it. Nobody is going to hold it together and wrap it in cotton ball for you. You have to do that yourself. You have to find ways and means to work and get your mental health in order. So this is why the 5 pillars of prosperity, without your mental health on point, the others will suffer. And you will not be able to reach your fulfilled life. Your life that you desire. The life where you want to have the possessions you want. Joy and happiness. Peace and tranquility. Thankfulness, gratitude and appreciation. And having all the material things you desire. Where you have your own home, you drive the car of your choice. You go on vacation, you enjoy the moments you're in, you're debt free. You have joy flowing from you. You need joy, and your mental health will give you joy when you see you're succeeding and you're worthy and you're capable and you can recall and you can choose to use that information not only to fill your cup, but to fill the cup of others. Making your mental connection work for you by sharing joy, connecting with others mentally, talking about, you can say, I'm reading a book. You can create a two people book club, a 2-person book club. You don't need 20. So you get your mental capabilities going. As I said, open the dictionary, open a physical dictionary, and wherever your finger drop, learn that word. You take it, you boom, you open it, you where your thumbs are, that's the word of the day. You can do that with the Bible. You can do that with any book. You go, you find a million, and you write a sentence about it. And you will learn the word, because now you're saying, I learned a new word today. And you try to use the word in as many times as you can. That is polishing your mental health. That is recalling that word. Take that word and write a sentence. Take that word and tell a story. This is my capability. I can hear a word and use that word to tell a story. Any word. Because I only hear and see words. But that is natural for me. But if your mental health is suffering, you need to learn more. You need to show and believe to that person in the mirror, I know more and I am going to get this. I know I will. My mental health will be better next time. And that's what you have to say. So sending you light and joy on this wonderful Wednesday evening. Thank you for dropping in and spending some time.